Hey there, fellow adventurers. Welcome to Nostalgia Time, the ultimate destination where we journey back to the golden age of our childhoods. I'm your host, CosplayDude637, and I'm here to bring your favorite characters and worlds back to life through the power of fanfiction. So, grab your favorite childhood snack, settle in, and prepare to rediscover the magic of your fondest memories. Here, where every story is a celebration of the timeless adventures that captured our hearts. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you won't want to miss a single moment of the nostalgia-filled experience. Let's embark on this adventure together. Welcome to Nostalgia Time. Greetings everyone and welcome back to Nostalgia Time. I am your host, of course, CosplayDude637. Today's adventure, we join up with the Voltron Force in Defenders of the Galaxy. Lotor's up to no good, and that's up to our team to stop them. But when time plays a significant role in the battle, can they win? What could change? Let's go find out.
Chapter 2, The Conquest of Time and Earth. The shimmering vortex spat out Prince Lotor onto the rugged terrain of Earth. He stood tall, his armor gleaming in the sunlight, surveying the landscape before him with a mix of awe and disdain.
This primitive planet.
Lotor muttered to himself, his voice dripping with contempt.
So full of potential, yet so utterly defenseless.
Unbeknownst to him, our group of young heroes was already on the move, sensing the disturbance caused by the portal's activation. Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Allura, the valiant paladins of the Voltron Force, raced toward the source of the anomaly, ready to confront whatever threat awaited them. As the paladins approached, Lotor's eyes narrowed, his gaze fixating on the newcomers. He recognized them immediately, his lip curling into a sneer of disdain.
Ah, the infamous Voltron Force.
Lotor mocked, his voice carrying across the rocky terrain.
How quaint. But you're too late to stop me. Earth will fall, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Keith, the fiery leader of the paladins, stepped forward, his sword drawn and ready for battle.
We'll see about that,
he retorted, his voice brimming with determination.
Voltron Force, let's take this guy down.
Lance, the charismatic daredevil, cracked a grin, twirling his rifle with practiced ease.
You heard the man, team.
He chimed in, his tone light despite the gravity of the situation.
Time to show this Galra prince what we're made of.
Pidge, the brilliant intellect, adjusted her glasses with a determined glint in her eye.
I've been itching for a fight,
she declared, her fingers flying over the controls of the green lion.
Let's give him a taste of our lion's roar!
Hunk, the gentle giant, cracked his knuckles with a reassuring smile.
We face worse than this guy.
He reassured his friends, his voice steady and sure.
Together, we can take him down.
Allura, the princess and now one of the paladins, nodded in agreement, her expression grave but resolute.
Remember our training, team.
She reminded them, her voice a steady anchor in the midst of chaos.
We fight as one, and we will emerge victorious.
With a mighty battle cry, the paladins leaped into action, their lions roaring to life around them. Prince Lotor may have thought Earth was an easy conquest, but he had severely underestimated the power of unity, the power of Voltron. And as the battle raged on, it became clear that Lotor's ambitions would crumble before the might of these brave defenders of the universe. As the battle raged on between Prince Lotor and the valiant paladins of Voltron, the clash of swords and the roar of lions echoed across the rugged terrain of Earth. Lotor fought with a ferocity born of desperation, determined to claim victory at any cost. But the paladins stood firm, their unity and determination unwavering in the face of adversity. With each passing moment, the tide of battle shifted, the balance hanging precariously in the air. Yet, despite Lotor's cunning tactics and formidable strength, the paladins refused to yield, their resolve burning brighter with every blow exchanged. In a moment of desperation, Lotor's gaze fell upon a shimmering portal, a gateway to the past that pulsed with untold power. Without hesitation, he seized the opportunity, channeling his remaining strength into a final, desperate gambit.
Time is now going to be on my side.
Lotor bellowed, his voice echoing with triumph as he hurled himself into the swirling vortex of the time portal. The paladins watched in disbelief as Lotor vanished from sight, his mocking laughter lingering in the air like a haunting echo. For a moment, silence reigned, broken only by the distant rumble of thunder as the storm clouds began to dissipate overhead.
He's gone.
Keith muttered, his grip tightening on his sword as he surveyed the empty battlefield. Lance frowned, his expression troubled.
But where did he go?
He wondered aloud, his gaze scanning the horizon for any sign of their elusive foe. Pidge furrowed her brow, her mind racing with possibilities.
Must have used the time portal to escape.
She deduced, her voice tinged with frustration.
But why? And where did he go?
Hunk shook his head, his expression grim.
I don't know.
He admitted, his heart heavy with uncertainty.
One thing's for sure, we haven't seen the last of Prince Lotor.
Allura gazed into the distance with a steely resolve.
Then we'll be ready for him.
She declared, her voice filled with determination.
No matter where or when he may strike, the Paladins of Eltron will stand united against the forces of darkness.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Have you been teleported to the past? Or de-aged to look like a kid again? Or have you delivered a message to some strange woman who asks questions all the time? And are you stuck? Well, call TARDIS Taxis, the taxi service that don't get you where you want to go, but where you need to go. To book TARDIS Taxis, simply call the number in last week's paper. Bookings are 6 months in advance. We cannot rearrange your booking, as it may rip a hole in the space-time continuum. Refunds are at the discretion of the Time Lords. Call TARDIS Taxis, and we will get you home. One day.
Now, back to our program.
Pidge, the team's tech genius, quickly got to work on building a time machine of their own. It was a risky move, as time travel was unpredictable and dangerous. But the team knew it was their only chance to stop Lotor. As Pidge delved into the intricate schematics and calculations necessary for constructing a time machine, Hunk, the gentle giant of the team, stood by her side, offering both practical support and moral encouragement.
Pidge, are you sure about this?
Hunk asked, his voice tinged with concern as he glanced over Pidge's shoulder at the complex diagrams displayed on the screen.
I mean, time travel sounds pretty risky, even for us.
Pidge shot Hunk a confident grin, her fingers flying across the keyboard with precision.
Trust me, Hunk, I've got this.
She replied, her tone brimming with assurance.
Besides, we can't just sit back and let Lotor wreak havoc on Earth. We have to do something.
Hunk nodded in agreement, his expression one of determination.
Yeah, you're right.
He conceded, his brow furrowing with concentration as he fetched tools and materials to assist Pidge in their endeavor.
Let's do this!
And so, with Pidge's unparalleled intellect and Hunk's unwavering support, the duo set to work, their banter filling the air as they navigated the complexities of time travel.
Hey, Pidge, remind me again, why are we building a time machine instead of, I don't know, a giant pizza oven?
Hunk quipped, his tone light-hearted despite the gravity of their mission. Pidge chuckled, her eyes never leaving the screen as she adjusted the parameters of their invention.
Because, Hunk, a giant pizza oven would do us no good against Lotor.
She retorted playfully, her grin widening as she typed furiously.
Besides, where's the fun in making pizza when we can bend the very fabric of time itself?
Hunk shook his head, a fond smile tugging at the corners of his lips.
You and your crazy ideas, Pidge.
He chuckled, his voice warm with affection.
But hey, if anyone can make this work, it's you, little buddy.
And with that vote of confidence spurring them on, Pidge and Hunk redoubled their efforts, their laughter mingling with the hum of machinery as they worked tirelessly to bring their vision to life. Together, they were unstoppable, a dynamic duo determined to change the course of history and save the world from impending doom. Once the time machine was complete, the Voltron Force set the coordinates for the year 2023 and flew the Castle of Lions through the portal. As they emerged from the time portal, they were shocked to see the devastation that Lotor had wrought upon Earth. Buildings lay in ruins, the sky was thick with smoke, and Galra ships patrolled the skies. The Voltron Force knew they had to act fast to stop Lotor before it was too late.
Pidge, how could he have done so much damage already?
Keith asked, his voice heavy with concern. Pidge furrowed her brow, analyzing data on her computer screen.
My best guess is that he leveraged technology from this era to booster his forces,
she replied, her tone troubled.
I warned you time travel is dangerous and unpredictable.
We need to find Lotor and put an end to this.
Lance exclaimed, his blue eyes flashing with determination. Splitting up into teams, the Voltron force scoured the planet for any sign of Lotor's whereabouts. Keith and Allura ventured into the heart of the ruined city, scanning for any clues that might lead them to their enemy. Meanwhile, Lance, Hunk, and Pidge went to search the outskirts of the city. Sven stayed behind in the castle to monitor them all and try to track Lotor with the castle's computers.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Calling all heroes and fans of the extraordinary. Get ready to morph into a world of fan fiction like never before. I am CosplayDude637, and I'm here to tell you about Power Rangers Universe 19. Picture this. Ultra Rangers defending the universe, Cyberforce Rangers navigating the digital frontier, and the high-flying adventures of the Power Rangers Skyforce. But that's just the beginning. We've got Kamen Rider Wizard conjuring magic, Kamen Rider Drive racing against time, and Kamen Rider Ghost unraveling the supernatural mysteries. And that's not all! Experience the musical journey of Power Rangers Masters of Music, and the blood-shivering adventures of Kamen Rider Kiva brought to you by Tai Tiger. Then, brace yourself for the epic tales of the Beetle Troopers by Mark the Red Cornish Ranger. So, why should you tune in? Because Power Rangers Universe 19 is not just a podcast, it's a portal into a multiverse of fanfiction brilliance. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platforms. Search for Power Rangers Universe 19 and join me, CosplayDude637, on an adventure that will ignite your imagination and redefine what it means to be a hero. And remember,
and let the power protect you.
Now, back to our program.
Keith and Allura disembark from their lions, their eyes scanning the horizon in search of any sign of Prince Lotor's presence. Before they could take another step, however, the ground trembled beneath their feet, and 3 imposing robotic ships descended from the sky, casting long shadows across the sandy terrain.
Who are you?
Keith demanded, his hand instinctively reaching for the hilt of his sword as he eyed the newcomers warily.
We are the Paladins of Aquarion,
came the reply from one of the ships, its hatch opening to reveal a trio of figures clad in matching pilot suits. The one who spoke, Crimson Rose, stepped forward with a determined glint in her eyes.
Why are you in this city?
Allura regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and caution.
We are here to stop the Galra army,
she inquired, her gaze piercing as she assessed the newcomers. Emerald Orchid, one of the other pilots, stepped forward to join Crimson Rose.
We've faced the Galra threat before,
she explained, her voice steady and resolute.
We know the dangers they pose to the universe, and are willing to do whatever it takes to stop them.
Keith nodded, albeit skeptically.
Fair enough,
he conceded, his tone guarded.
But what assurance do we have that you won't turn on us?
Navy Iris, the third pilot, stepped forward, her expression earnest.
We share a common enemy,
she declared, her voice ringing with conviction.
Our goal is the same as yours. To protect the universe from the tyranny of the Galra. Joining forces is our best chance to achieve that goal.
Allura's lips curled into a small smile.
Very well,
she agreed, extending her hand in a gesture of camaraderie.
Let's work together and find Lotor and put an end to his plans.
Keith followed suit, his hand meeting Crimson Rose's in a firm handshake, sealing the alliance forged in the ruined city.
I'm Keith Akura Kogan.
He introduced himself, his voice firm.
And this is Princess Allura. Crimson Rose, at your service.
Ruthie Flowers replied with a nod, her grip strong and sure.
These are my sisters, Sammy, known as Violet Iris, and Jordan, also known as Emerald Orchid.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new holiday destination? Then look no further than Rain.
Hello, listener. I apologize for butting in, But everything happens for a reason, like a well-thought-out plan, like a precise chess move. And I, William Cranston, love a precise chess move, a well-thought-out plan. I have a well-thought-out plan, like a perfect chess match. My plan revolves around the Power Rangers Future Foundation, and you can hear about my well-thought-out plan, my precise chess moves, in the tale of the Power Rangers Future Foundation, only found on the Tiger Tales YouTube channel. Come take a listen and find out what my plan is.
Ranger Travels is not responsible for destruction of property while on your holiday. If there is a monster attack, Rangers will respond. T's and C's apply.
Now, back to our program.
As the Voltron force embarked on their mission to confront Prince Loader, Sven remained behind at the Castle of Lions, his watchful gaze fixed on the view screen that displayed the unfolding events. From his vantage point, he monitored their progress, a sense of quiet unease gnawing at the back of his mind. As the tension mounted and the battle against Loader's forces intensified, Sven couldn't help but feel a surge of apprehension. He longed to be out there with his comrades, fighting by their side, but duty demanded that he remain behind to coordinate their efforts from the safety of the castle. With each passing moment, Sven's anxiety grew, his fingers drumming restlessly against the console as he watched the drama unfold before him. He knew that the fate of not just Earth, but the entire universe, hung in the balance, and he prayed silently for his friend's success. Suddenly, a blip appeared on the radar, catching Sven's attention. Frowning in concentration, he zoomed in on the anomaly, his eyes widening in realization.
Voltron Force, come in!
Sven called out over the intercom, his voice urgent.
I have detected a signal emitting from a nearby sector. It could be Prince Lotor. You need to return to the castle immediately.
As the Voltron force acknowledged his instructions and began to make their way back, Sven's mind raced with possibilities. He knew that this could be their best chance to finally put an end to Loader's reign of terror once and for all. But as he awaited their arrival, Sven's attention was drawn to the view screen once more, where he spotted Keith and his newfound allies.
Keith!
Sven called out, his voice tinged with pride as he addressed his friend.
Bring your new friends with you. We located Prince Lotor, and it's time to finish this once and for all.
As the Voltron force and the pilots of Aquarian returned to the castle, their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that victory was within their grasp, Sven stood ready to join them in their final showdown against their greatest foe. And together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their determination to protect the universe from the forces of darkness.
This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zio to Hero the Podcast. Thank you all for listening to that story. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a reminder that all my fanfictions are just that, fanfictions, and does not mean to infringe on the mainstream continuity that it's from. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank all those that support me. First off, you have the Three Ranger Bros Studio, which consists of myself, CosplayDude637, my Parabatai and dear friend, Ty Tiger, with all his YouTube channels, Tiger Tales, and his new podcast, the Tiger Nexus Podcast. Then, of course, last but definitely not least, we have Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger, with his podcast, Nerds Through Comics. And then there's the guys at Zio to Hero the Podcast, Jim and Billy, the bulk and skull of podcasting. Anything nerdy you think you have ever talked about, I guarantee they have an episode about it. So, definitely go check them out. Then, we have Jared over on If You Give a Dad a Podcast. An amazing guy, a dad, like myself, that just loves talking to nerdy people about every subject. So definitely go give him a listen also. Then there's Jacob, aka the Iron Avenger, on TikTok and Instagram. We also have to give a shout out to Ben, the Baker Ranger. And last but not least, there is Tony, our good friend. And an honorable mention to the late, great Rebel Ranger, Sam. We love you, we miss you. Every person I just mentioned is a member of the Zio to Hero Network. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of time to mention some of the friends of the Zio to Hero Network. First off, we have Casey from the Mighty Morphin Conspiracy Theories, Justin, aka A-Crown, from the Author's Crown YouTube channel, Johnson of Western Strike, Rob, aka Lightning Collector 2021, James, better known as Beauty_Baba Yaga, Justin the Green Spartan Ranger, and Michael and Nathan of the Power Trip. Everyone I just named has been a huge supporter to me and my podcast, and if you can, go give them a follow. It would mean the world to me. Thanks a lot. Until next time, guys. Later days.